Good evening, everyone. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. Fireworks, a favorite July 4th pastime, but safety experts urge caution as playing with a fire or explosive can be deadly. NASA just completed a test drive with their first lunar rover at a research facility in California. The robot will soon be sent to a special mission on the south pole of the moon. Silicon Valley officials are warning people about a possible increase in fentanyl being trafficked across the border this summer. Their new campaign focuses on reducing demand for the drug. It's now a new month, and several California laws have now taken effect as of July 1st. They range from gunmaker lawsuits to crime to bounty hunters. Let's take a look at some of them.
Starting July, Californians can sue gun makers. Under Assembly Bill 1594, people can file civil lawsuits against gun manufacturers or illegal firearms sales. In addition, advertising and marketing of guns will be restricted. The National Shooting Sports Foundation, the Firearm Industry Trade Association, is challenging the law in the Southern District of California. They are seeking a preliminary injunction to stop enforcing it. Now, criminals can worry less about moving on with life after prison. Under SB 731, prisoners who finish their sentences and are not repeat offenders will get their records sealed after 4 years. This does not apply to background checks for jobs in education, law enforcement, or public office, as criminal records will still be disclosed in those situations. In an effort to curb online retail theft, SB 301 will require online platforms to have more information on third-party sellers that generate a lot of sales. Violations could result in a $10,000 fine. AB 2011 and SB 6 aims to address homelessness and housing. Together, they would build new housing for low and middle-income residents on commercial sites for retail, parking, or office space. And bounty hunters will need to be licensed and trained under AB 2043. People hired by bail bond companies to find those who missed their court dates will need to be licensed and registered with the state.
For 4th of July, many people want to celebrate America's freedom. While fireworks are a big part of it, fire officials are asking the public to stay safe. NTD's Tyler Castillo reports.
Tyler Castillo here at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, where officials are handing out precautions for the upcoming 4th of July holiday.
Fireworks signify celebration, and it's no different for America's Independence Day. But officials are saying to avoid handling illegal fireworks and instead go to a professional display.
Last year, we had at least 11 deaths associated with it and over 10,000 trips to the emergency room with fireworks-related injuries.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission says many of those hurt by fireworks in the month around the July 4th last year were children. Over in Silicon Valley, Dr. Clifford Schechter, director of the only burn and trauma center in the San Francisco Bay Area, says they typically get 1 admission per day, but
this season it can be upwards of 2 to 5 people a day. So it's a significant influx, and as mentioned, it's all types of injuries too. It's motor vehicle, collisions. It's pedestrian accidents. We see a massive influx of all types of trauma, and unfortunately, drugs and alcohol are usually the common denominator for a lot of it.
Laws around safe and sane fireworks for consumer use differ across regions.
In Santa Clara County, fireworks are not allowed in any of our communities, with the exception of Gilroy, which allows safe and sane fireworks. Again, reiterating the fact that if you want to go out and enjoy the 4th of July holiday and celebrate with fireworks, please seek out one of the many professional shows that are being offered in many cities and jurisdictions throughout Santa Clara County.
Duncan Reno, a patient at the center, had part of his body burned while celebrating his daughter's engagement. He said an oil-based fire pit exploded in front of him.
When he went to go put the one in there, this time it exploded, it flashed. It basically flashed toward me. And because of the pants that I was wearing, my wife was sitting right next to me, and she had nothing but cotton on, and you could see the oil that was on her, but she never caught on fire. Nobody else caught on fire. I caught on fire.
Reno said the material of his clothes made him catch on fire. While Reno's injury wasn't from fireworks, he shares his experience.
When we get so used to understanding the fires that are around us, either our barbecues or our fire pits or all that stuff, and the thing is that everybody should just take a step back, take an inventory of what they have, and really see if all that's working properly, because it's an instant. That's what Liz and I were saying. It was an instant, and our lives changed.
He says he was one of the luckier people. Officials say that over 74% of firework-related injuries occur around the July 4th holiday. And while this year's rainstorms helped California's drought, the fire department said the landscape is still recovering from years of drought and are still prone to fires. In San Jose, California, Todd Castillo, NTD News.
It's been 50 years since humans last walked on the moon. Now NASA has planned a series of Artemis missions to return, laying the groundwork for sending astronauts to Mars. As a part of the preparation, NASA scientists in California are test driving their newest Lunar rover. I spoke to one of the engineers to explore more. NASA's Ames Research Center in Mountain View, California, just debuted the stripped-down version of its long-anticipated Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration Rover, or VIPER for short.
It has the same traction and the same weight, and so its hill climbing characteristics and its rock climbing characteristics are the same, or as close as we can get it to the actual rover.
The VIPER is about the size of a golf cart. This test robotic model running on Earth is like a stunt double to the real rover, except it weighs only 1/6 of the actual lunar counterpart to simulate and accommodate the gravitational difference. This mobile robot will land on the moon in late 2024 for a 100-day mission. Once it reaches the moon, scientists at NASA's Ames Research Center will be behind the controls, driving the $500 million rover along the moon's south pole.
We know that there are parts of the moon, particularly around the south pole, where there is water ice buried and kind of mixed into the lunar soil.
The main purpose of VIPER is to look for resources on the moon that can be used. In particular, it will be looking for water. But it's no easy task.
It's a 3-second delay from the speed of light to the moon and back, and you only have what views the cameras on board can give you.
This forces the solar-powered rover to go at a very slow speed of only half a mile per hour. Another challenge is to survive the extreme temperature.
So when you're in direct sunlight, there's no atmosphere to protect you. The moon rotates much more slowly than Earth, once a month, and so you spend 2 weeks at night, and it's extremely cold.
NASA's plan is to build a base on the South Pole and have astronauts live there for an extended amount of time. Being able to use water resources on site will mark a critical step forward for NASA's Artemis mission to establish a long-term presence on the surface of the moon. Officials in Silicon Valley, including a consul general of Mexico, warned residents about the amount of fentanyl coming into the area this summer. This as youth and young adults are all from the school and often self-medicating, according to officials.
Criminal drug markets are mass-producing fake pills to look like prescription opioids like M30 oxycodone. That's according to officials in Silicon Valley.
We know we're seeing synthetic pills in our community called M30s. They're being trafficked in our area this summer. We know that, and really this is our ability to put the alert out because we want to make sure parents and young people understand what these are.
The Santa Clara County Medical Examiner says the highest number of deaths and overdoses are in the white, Caucasian, and Hispanic communities, causing great concern to San Jose's Consulate General of Mexico.
We think there is a huge need of public awareness campaigns on the danger of the drugs use. We need to focus on the demand side to prevent deaths and affectation on public health.
From 2019 to May this year, county numbers show at least 155 fentanyl-related deaths in the Hispanic community. The consul was joined by Supervisor Cindy Chavez in a June press conference, who said the risk of getting poisoned and overdosing without knowing it is high.
A young person said that she had no idea that pills she had seen at parties could kill them. They thought they knew what were in the pills.
Fentanyl is cheap to make, and the DOJ recently announced efforts against Chinese pharmaceutical companies and Mexican cartels for trafficking fentanyl chemicals into the U.S.
The people who are selling these pills are not worried about the health and well-being of the people they're selling them to. They're not chemists, they're not doctors, they're not health professionals. And what we need young people to understand is that these counterfeit pills are coming to them not from friends, but from people who don't care whether they live or die.
The DEA reports that counterfeit pills have been identified in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, and law enforcement are now seizing fake pills at record rates. David Lamb, NTD News, California.
We'll take a short break now, but here's a look at some top stories from Southern California from when we come back. Fans of Barbie are in luck. A new pop-up experience and a Barbie-themed oceanfront dream house in LA are available for fans to explore. And a new construction project aims to alleviate some of LA's heavy traffic. Two busy freeways will soon have a wider merge point. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Zhang. With the new Barbie movie coming out next month, many fans in Southern California have a chance to see what's like to be in a real-life Barbie world, living out her life-sized dreams. NTD's Christina Corona tells us more.
If you love Barbie and the glamorous Barbie lifestyle, then Los Angeles has the perfect attractions for you to enjoy this summer. From visiting the original Barbie dolls throughout the years, to stepping into Barbie's kitchen, or even having the chance to stay in a Barbie-themed oceanfront mansion, LA is offering it all.
World of Barbie in Los Angeles is where dreams are coming true for admirers of the beloved doll. This Barbie experience is located near the coast in Santa Monica and is giving fans an opportunity to step into the real-life world of Barbie. This is where you can discover, explore, and celebrate the iconic Barbie doll's lifestyle and the many careers she experienced by touring a wide selection of sensational and engaging activities. From exploring Barbie's closet to stepping inside her camper and walking into her in-home movie theater, this pop-up event will make you feel like Barbie herself. Aside from being in Barbie's pink rooms, you'll also have a chance to see all of the Barbie dolls throughout the years, along with all of her cars and houses that she owned throughout the decades. This Barbie pop-up experience will be here to explore and enjoy until the end of September. Additionally, for a couple of lucky guests, on July 21st and 22nd, two Barbie lovers have a chance to stay in a pink-themed Barbie dream house in Malibu, and for a price anyone can afford. Free. That's right, the pink oceanfront mansion is back on Airbnb and will be available to book for a limited time this month, but with a twist. It will be Ken hosting the mansion, not Barbie. According to Airbnb's website, all stays will be free of charge because Ken couldn't figure out how to put a price on Barbie's Malibu dream house. After all, Ken's thing is beach, not math. Guests will have the opportunity to play with Ken's wardrobe, show off their disco moves on the dance floor, take a dip into the infinity pool, and just when you thought it couldn't get any better, they'll also leave with their very own set of yellow and pink Impala skates and a surfboard. People can request to book Ken's room in Barbie's Malibu Dream House beginning July 17th at 10 a.m. at airbnb.com/Ken Dreamhouse.
All of these dreams are coming true for Barbie fans in honor of the July 21st movie, Barbie. So don't miss out on these incredible pink theme events that can bring your Barbie experience dream to life. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.
Meanwhile, in some parts of LA County, many homes have an average listing price of nearly $1 million. However, one new homeowner got his house for less than half of that price. But it's still $180,000 more than asking. Here's Christina Corona with that story.
The home in the San Gabriel Valley that everyone was buzzing about last month is officially off the market. The listing went viral due to its unique location, which is tucked away under a bridge on the 1300 block of Main Street in Alhambra. The one-bedroom, one-bathroom home was initially listed for $250,000, and it just sold for $430,000. That's $180,000 above the original asking price. The property drew hundreds of visitors over the past several weeks, many of whom just wanted to get a peek of the house the size of a bachelor pad. The home, described by realtors as a fixer-upper, has 462 square feet, sits on an 1,800 square foot lot, and also comes with a rooftop deck. Douglas Lee from Compass Real Estate told the LA Times, quote, "This was definitely a unique property, no doubt about it. I have never come across anything like this." The previous owner bought the house in 2005 for just $72,000 with plans to use it as a man cave. Christina Corona, NTD News, Los Angeles.
Now, for those living in LA, you know the area is notorious for the bad traffic. But good news is officials recently broke ground on a new construction project that would widen a merging point that connects two busy freeways. State and federal officials held a ceremony to mark the start of the project.
San Gabriel Valley leaders marked a new construction phase to expand the confluence of the 57 and 60 freeways. Local officials gathered on June 30th at the current freeway interchange for the groundbreaking ceremony for the Confluence Choke Point Relief Project. The freeways are the most significant freeway bottlenecks in Southern California.
How many times did I drive behind a gigantic truck, watching it weave and thinking that it could tip over and cause a major accident? Well, too many times to count, and in fact, I had that experience this morning driving over here. And then I learned that this was one of the most dangerous interchanges of Southern California. Today, it ranks as the 7th worst in the nation. That's unacceptable.
The project will add one more eastbound general purpose lane, a new Grand Avenue flyover on and off ramps, replace or widen the Grand Avenue Bridge, and widen ramps and surface streets leading to the congested confluence. The project received bipartisan support from local and federal officials. Congressmember Young Kim, whose previous congressional district falls in the area, thanked her Democratic colleague for securing the funding for the project.
And so I really think, as was mentioned so many times, my colleague, Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, who is a champion on the Transportation Committee, and worked so hard with her for the federal funding for this 5760 Confluence project. We both led, because this is my previous congressional district, we both led that letter, bipartisan joint letter, to Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, and requested that $30 million funding project for this.
The total cost for the project is about $444 million. Tim Hepburn, mayor of Laverne, believes that this is money well spent.
These regional projects that we're doing to make it safer for all of our people here, with the state and federal money, it's proving to be extremely beneficial for the safety of all of our residents. And these choke points like this here, grade separations, anything we do with mobility, with bicycle lanes to get our people out of the cars and onto the roads, on other modes of transportation between vehicles to make it safer.
The project is expected to be completed by July 2028.
And to wrap up the evening, two siblings from UC Irvine hope to shape the AI world with compassion. Their newly designed chatbot will enable patients to talk with an AI that's reportedly empathetic.
Two siblings, Karishma and her brother Pratush, graduated from the University of California, Irvine, and have teamed up to create their own artificial intelligence, or AI, called Chatbot, for use in the medical field. According to the siblings, their technology is geared to use compassion in its interactions with patients struggling with mental health issues. The patients will be able to talk with a chatbot that's empathetic. Pratush said, quote, "Now we're moving into an artificial intelligence world, so how do we want to shape that? That's something that we, as a society, are collectively thinking about and deciding." The siblings will present their work at the United Nations AI for Good 2023 Global Summit in Geneva, Switzerland in July.
Now let's check in with NTD's Tyler Castillo for our NHL Draft Update.
Thank you. I'm Tyler Castillo, taking you through California Today's Sports Roundup.
Welcome back. Last week, I covered the first round of the NHL Draft, and now a lot more players were selected in the later rounds, so let's dive in. The Anaheim Ducks had 3 second-round selections, where they selected forwards Nico Midovic and Carey Terrance at 33rd and 59th overall. Their final second-round selection was used to select goalie Damian Clara at 60th overall. The Ducks had 2 selections in the third round, where they selected forwards Colson Petrie and Yegor Sidorov at 65th and 85th overall. The final 3 selections for the Ducks were defenseman Connor Smith at 97th overall, defenseman Rodwin Dianik at 129th overall, and lastly, defenseman Vojtech Bork at 161st overall. The LA Kings selected 5 players in the draft, starting with Jacob Dvorak in the second round, Cohen Zimmer in the third round, Hampton Slansinski in the fourth round, Matthew Mania in the fifth round, and lastly, Ryan Conmey in the sixth round. The San Jose Sharks selected 7 players in Day 2 of the draft. The Sharks selected forwards Kasper Haltnen and Brandon Svoboda at 36th and 71st overall. The Sharks then selected 3 defensemen in Luca Cagnoni, Axel Landon, and Eric Polkemp. The final 2 selections were forwards David Klee at 196th overall and Yegor Rimashevsky at 203rd overall. Here are some of the draftees' reactions to being selected.
I don't even know what I'm feeling. Words can't even describe it. I'm just so excited to share this moment with my family and friends that came along, and I'm just so excited to be a part of the Sharks organization.
Can't put it even to words, you know. It's an incredible feeling, you know. I've dreamed of it ever since, and now share this moment with my family, and you know, it's unbelievable.
First time getting my name called in any draft, so it was a real special one for me. Honestly, I thought I was going to cry a little bit, but I'm just super stoked.
Congratulations to the players selected, and we wish them a successful future.
I'm Tyler Castillo, and that was today's Sports Roundup. Back to you.
Thanks, Tyler. Everyone, that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Ganjin World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Zhang from our entire team. Have a wonderful evening.